Good morning, Manada. Today we are going to discuss about an important topic that is power amplifiers. Okay. This is a unit. The name is power amplifiers and tune amplifiers. In this, today we are going to discuss about power amplifiers. So before discussing about power amplifiers, let us discuss about the differences between voltage and power amplifiers, characteristics of voltage amplifiers, characteristics of power amplifiers. Let us discuss about voltage amplifiers. As we discussed in the previous unit, that is amplifiers. Okay. Generally, the amplifiers are made up of to amplify the input signal. What is the meaning of amplifier? It strengthens the weak signal. So, what it will strengthen? The amplitude of the input signal. So, the amplitude of the input signal is increases, then this is called amplifier. So, generally, we need to amplify the amplitude of the input signal for generally voltage signals. Generally, the voltage and current signals are used. So, for that signals, we can increase the amplitude of input. So, that if we increase the amplitude of voltage signal, then this is called voltage amplifier. Okay, let us discuss about voltage amplifiers now. That is, the primary function of a voltage amplifier is to raise the voltage level of the signal. Voltage level means amplitude of the voltage signal. Amplitude of voltage signal. The voltage amplifiers are designed to achieve maximum voltage amplification. So generally, what is the purpose of voltage amplifiers? These are used to design to achieve maximum voltage amplification. Small signal amplifiers are give large output voltage taking small input signal amplitudes. So generally, small signal amplifiers which are dealing with AC signals are gives large output voltage taking small input signal amplitudes. So generally the amplifier's function is to increase the amplitude level of the small signals. So it gives a large amplification. This is the meaning of this. The first few stages in multi-stage amplifiers are used to achieve only voltage amplification. If we use multi-stage amplification or multi-stage amplifiers, in that generally we use more than two stages. So in that multi-stage of amplification purposes, in that multi-stages, all the stages are voltage amplifiers only. Only the last stage is power amplifier stage, that is output stage. So before that, all the stages are used to perform the voltage amplification. Only very little power can be drawn from its output. Okay, this is about voltage amplifiers. Next, power amplifier characteristics. A transistor amplifier which raises the power level of the signals is known as the transistor power amplifiers. Okay, this is the definition of the power amplifiers. A transistor amplifier which raises the power level of the signal is known as transistor power amplifier. This amplifier can feed large amount of power to the load. Okay, what it will do? It will feed large amount of power to the load. So generally, to get full amplification, we will say the amplification is faithful. That means it delivers maximum power to the load. That is the meaning of faithful amplification. In that purposes, generally the last stage must be power amplified in order to deliver large amount of power to the load. Generally load is a resistance. So across the resistance, if we achieve maximum power, then this is called power amplification. Power amplification. Power amplifiers are also called as large signal amplifiers. Okay. Whereas voltage amplifiers are called small signal amplifier. Power amplifiers are called large signal amplifiers. In general, the last stage of multi-stage amplifiers is power amplifier stage. As just now I told, in multi-stage amplifiers, if we use more than two stages for amplification, for example, 5 stage I want to cascade. In that, first four stages must be used to amplify voltage, whereas the fifth stage, that is last stage, is used to um, amplify power. That is, power amplification is nothing but it delivers the maximum power to the load. That is the function of the power amplification purposes. Okay, remaining the four stages, the precede four stages are used to increase the amplitude, the voltage amplitude. That is, it is used to increase the amplitude of the voltage signals. That is nothing but voltage amplification. So the four stages are used to amplify the voltage, whereas the last stage is used to amplify the power. Okay, let us see the difference between power amplifiers and voltage amplifiers. In this, the mm, first one is voltage amplifiers and next one is power amplifiers. And this the first point is these are small signal amplifiers. Just now we discussed the voltage amplifiers are small signal amplifiers, whereas the power amplifiers are large signal amplifiers. And the second point, the power output is small. Okay, in voltage amplifiers, the output power is small, whereas in power amplifiers, voltage output is small. Third point, the transistor with high beta is used. Beta is nothing but current amplification factor or current gain. So current gain value is beta. So in the voltage amplifiers, the transistor with high beta is used, whereas in power amplifiers, the transistor with low beta is used. Why? Because in voltage amplifiers, we need to amplify the voltage level. In that case, if beta is high, that input signal must be multiplied with beta. Therefore, you will get high beta value or high output value. Whereas in power amplification, if beta is high, the beta is not required to get uh, the beta is not necessary to get high power. So therefore, the low beta values transistors are used in the power amplification purposes. Next, the fourth point, the collector current is less, whereas in power amplification, collector current is high. So if the output current is high, the collector is nothing but the collector terminal is used as the output terminal in common emitter amplifiers. Therefore, the current is output current is high means the high current is multiplied with voltage to get power. Therefore, you'll get high power. Therefore, in power amplifications purposes, the collector current must be high, whereas in voltage, the collector current may be less. Next, fifth point, the input signal voltages are very low in magnitude. Of course, in voltage amplification, the input signal voltages are less. Then only the less voltages can be amplified perfectly. Whereas in the power amplifiers, the input signal voltages are high in magnitude. So, power, we need to amplify the power. But here power is not amplified. Just the maximum power should be delivered to the load. That is our purposes. Therefore, the input signals current may be high, voltage and current may be high. Next, sixth point, the RC coupling is used. Generally, in voltage amplification, the RC coupling may be used, whereas in power amplification purposes, for impedance matching and all the uh, purposes, that is, the maximum power to be delivered to the load, the transformer coupling may be used. So generally, the power amplification purposes, the transformer coupling is used. Seventh point, the devices used are low current devices with large output resistances. Okay, is it clear? The device used are low current devices with large input resistances. Okay, whereas in the power amplification purposes, the devices have to supply large currents and are of low output resistances. So generally the current must be high, the voltage must be low. Therefore, the devices have to supply large currents and are of low output resistances are used. Coming to the next point, that is the eighth, cascading and cascoding is used. So cascading is, as we know, the cascading is nothing but connecting of identical stages, that is CE with CE, CB with CB, etc. Whereas cascoding is different. That is, if different stages are connected, that is CE with CC, that is cascode. So both the techniques are both the coupling techniques are used in voltage amplification purposes. Whereas in power amplifiers, the push-pull complementary symmetry and Darlington circuits are used. So push-pull complementary symmetry is nothing but complement, means in the complementary symmetry circuit, two transistors are tied, which is made up of one is made up of PNP and another one is NPN. Whenever the input signal is applied to both the transistors, one is on and another one is off. For the other positive half, for the other half signal, input signal, the first transistor may be off, second transistor may be on, like that. So complement of input signal must be done. So at each time, that is positive half and negative half respectively, the output signal will be appear. So complete signal will be appear over on the cycle. Therefore, generally for power amplification purposes, push-pull complementary symmetry circuit is generally preferred in order to get power amplification. Next point, that is ninth point, heat generated is very less. No cooling arrangements are required. Since in voltage amplification purposes, very less voltage is applied. Therefore, maybe the heat generated in the transistor may be less. Therefore, no need of cooling. That is, heat sinks may not be used in voltage amplification purposes. Whereas coming to the power amplifiers consumes more power and it delivers the heat. It generates the heat in the transistors. Therefore, if you do not use the heat sinks or heat eliminated process is not used, then the power transistor maybe gets damaged. Therefore, it considered heat is generated, cooling arrangements may be required. So we need to provide the cooling arrangements in the circuits, power circuits. Next point, that is 10th point, in voltage amplifiers, output must be free from distortion. Then only we can say faithful amplification. Okay, the output must be free from distortion, whereas in the power amplifiers, reasonable distortion is permitted. Okay, next 11th point. Their voltage amplifiers operation is restricted to linear portion only. Okay, in the linear portion, we can operate the voltage amplifiers to get the faithful amplification. That is generally in the active region, we need to select the operating point. If the operating point is in the linear portion, then only the output may be constant. You will get faithful amplification. Therefore, we need to operate the voltage amplifiers in the linear portion only. Whereas in power amplifiers, non-linear operation is also allowed. Okay, can be eliminated with some of the techniques. So non-linear operation may be allowed. Next 12th point, the voltage amplifiers are used as preamplifiers. Preamplifiers means in multi-stage amplification purposes. More than two stages are used. The last stage must be power amplifier stage. Whereas the pre-amplifiers means before the last stage. All the remaining stages are voltage amplifiers only. Therefore, the voltage amplifiers are used as pre-amplifiers, whereas the power amplifiers are used in output stage. Here, some of the characteristics are given. The characteristics that make an amplifier as voltage amplifier. Let us see what are those characteristics. The characteristics that make an amplifier as voltage amplifier are high value of beta. Okay, that is greater than 100. That is thin base. Higher value of beta, that is thin base. The base while construction, if the base is very thin, then the beta value may be high, means current amplification factor beta. So the beta must be greater, the beta value must be greater than 100. Next, low input resistance. So generally these are the characteristics to be made as voltage amplifier. The input resistance must be low. The output resistance must be high, that is high collector load resistance. Low collector current, RC coupling may be preferred. Okay. These are the few of the Important characteristics to make an amplifier as a voltage amplifiers. Those are, it must be with high beta value. The beta value must be greater than 100, for which we need to construct with thin base, low input impedance or resistance, and high collector load resistance with low collector output, collector current. Next, RC coupling is preferred. These are the few of the characteristics to make as a voltage amplifier. Next, the characteristics that make an amplifier as power amplifier are thick base, that is smaller value of beta. So this is all, these all the characteristics are opposite to the voltage amplifiers. So beta must be low, that is to get higher beta, base may be taken. To get low beta, thick base construction may be taken. The collector current is high. Of course, the collector current is high. The low collector load resistance and transformer coupling is used. Okay, these are the characteristics of power amplifiers. Okay, till now we discussed about a transistor amplifier which raises power level of the signal is known as the transistor power amplifiers. In voltage amplification, the voltage signal's amplitude may be increases, whereas in power amplifiers, the power of the input signal may be increased. Next, the primary function of a voltage amplifier is to raise the voltage level of the signal. And also we discussed the comparison of voltage amplifiers with power amplifiers and what are the characteristics of voltage amplifiers and what are the characteristics of power amplifiers. These things we discussed in the previous slides. Next one, the classification of power amplifiers. The classification of power amplifiers based on or the classification of power amplifiers based on frequency, the classification of uh, power amplifiers based on time period of the conduction, classification based on configurations. Let us discuss. The power amplifiers converts DC power from supply into AC power. It converts DC power into AC power. They are large signal amplifiers. These are not small signal amplifiers. These are large signal amplifiers. Larger portion of load line is used during signal operation than small signal amplifiers. Okay, is it clear? Larger portion of load line is used during during signal operation than small signal amplifiers. Here, the load line, as we discussed in previous unit about load line. So, load line is drawn to select the operating point in the VI characteristics of amplifier. So, a larger portion of load line is used in order to get uh, power amplification. Classification is based on percentage of input cycle for which amplifier operates in its linear region. Let us see. Classification of amplifiers based on frequency. As we know, the frequency may be 0 to several gigahertz or several hertz. So, the band of frequencies which are defined for different range. Let us discuss from 0 to 20 kilohertz or from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. This band of frequency is called audio frequency. So, audio frequency or AF power amplifiers used in the audio frequency range, that is 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz, for which the example is public addressing system. In the public addressing system, the frequency range is 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz, which is audible to human being. That the sounds which can be heard by the human being is nothing but the signals frequency is nothing but audio signals frequency. So this frequency range is 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. If the AF power amplifiers are used in this range, then this is called audio frequency power amplifiers. The range of frequency is 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. Next, the radio frequency are RF power amplifiers, which are used in the radio frequency range from 30 kilohertz to 3 megahertz. So generally, the range of frequencies which are from 30 kilohertz to 3 megahertz. This range of frequency is called radio frequency range. So the examples for this is radio receiver. Next, video frequency range. Video frequency or VF power amplifiers used in the video frequency range that is greater than 3 megahertz. The examples are TV receivers. The radio frequency may be greater than radio frequency range that is greater than 3 megahertz. Next, the classification of power amplifiers according to the period of conduction. The first one is Class A power amplifiers. The period of conduction is 360 degrees, that is full cycle. If the period of conduction is 360 degrees, then that amplifiers is called Class A power amplifiers. Next one is Class B power amplifiers. The conduction angle is only half cycle, that is 180 degrees only. If the period of conduction is 180 degrees, that is only half cycle, then that is called Class B power amplifier. Next one, Class C power amplifier. The period of conduction is less than half cycle, that is less than 180 degrees, then that is called Class C power amplifier. Next, Class B power amplifiers. The period of conduction that is in between Class A and Class B, that is less than 360 degrees, greater than 180 degrees, more than half cycle and less than full cycle. Then this type of amplification is performed in Class B. Let us see the Class A power amplifier output signal with respect to waveforms. Class A power amplifier, the period of conduction as just now we discussed, that is full cycle, that is 360 degrees. Here, this is the input signal, input collector to emitter voltage VCE. This is the input signal. By applying this as the input signal, then you will get this is the collector current output signal. Okay, here this Q is operating point, Q point, Q center point. which is nothing but operating point, which is selected on the AC load line. This is the AC load line. These are output characteristic curves. Okay. In this VCE voltage, the collector to emitter voltage VCE. This is the VCE voltage. This is the output collector current. If the conduction is full, this is full. When you will get the full conduction, if the operating point is exactly at the middle point of load line. So the selection of operating point is very important. The selection of the operating point is exactly on the linear portion or exactly in the active region or exactly at the middle point of the AC load line. Then that amplifier gives 360 degrees amplification, that is full cycle amplification without any loss. Okay. With respect to this Q, this is VCEQ, this is ICQ because this is VCE line, this is IC line. Okay. So this is VCEQ, this is ICQ. From this ICQ to next ICQ, next minus ICQ. So this is 0 to ICQ, ICQ to ICQ, to ICQ, ICQ. In similar way, this is Q point, this is VCEQ. So 0 to VCEQ, VCEQ to another VCEQ. So 2 VCEQ. So therefore, the voltage is from 0 to 2 VCEQ. The current is from 0 to 2 ICQ. So in class A power amplifiers, the conduction is 360 degrees, that is full cycle. If the period of conduction is full, then that is called the type of power amplifiers are class A power amplifiers. Next one, class B power amplifiers. In this class B power amplifier, the period of conduction is only half cycle, that is 180 degrees. Okay, here. So this may be achieved, that is 180 degrees of conduction is achieved due to based on the selection of the operating point. Here, the selection of the operating point is at here. This is near to cutoff region. Okay. Here, this is saturation region. This is cutoff region. Since the operating point is near to cutoff region, therefore, all this portion may be clipped off since it is near to the cutoff region. Therefore, uh, this is AC load line, this is VCE, this is IC. Since the operating point is selected near to cutoff region, therefore half of the portion of input signal may be, this is the input signal, 0 to positive half, 0 to negative half, positive half, negative half. So only the positive half signal will be amplified. The collector current you will get 0 to pi, next pi to 2 pi, that is negative half cycle may be clipped off. Therefore positive half signal only amplifies 2 pi to 3 pi, positive half. So these two positive halves may be amplified. The negative portion may be clipped off. Okay. So this may be achieved with improper selection of operating point. That is, if the operating point is near to the cutoff region or near to saturation region also. Here, since we have selected the operating point near to the cutoff region, therefore positive half cycles are gets amplified. If you select the operating point near to saturation region, then negative portion may be amplified. Positive portion may be clipped off. Okay, like this. If the period of conduction is 180 degrees, then this kind of power amplifiers comes under class B power amplifiers. Next, class C power amplifiers. Okay, here in this class C power amplifier, the period of conduction may be less than 180 degrees. Okay, means the selection of sorry, the selection of the operating point that is somewhat below the level of class B operating point selection. Okay, that is very much near to the cutoff region or very much near to the saturation region. Okay, here the cutoff region near is considered. Okay, this is a Q point. Since the Q point is selected below the level of the Q point of class B operation, then only less than 180 degrees portion may be appear. Okay, the previous case 0 to pi was there. Now it may be lesser than 180 degrees. Depends on the selection of the operating point. So 0 to may be less than pi. That may be 2 pi by 3, maybe pi by 2, whatever it may be. Depends on the selection of the operating point. Therefore, less than 180 degrees portion may be appear as the output signal. Next, the fourth one, that is class AB power amplifier. So in the class AB power amplifier, the name itself AB, the class A is complete 360 degrees amplification, whereas in class B is only half of the portion. Here the combination of AB. So the period of conduction may be greater than B and less than A. That is less than 360 degrees, greater than 180 degrees. Okay, like this. So this may be achieved because of operating point. So the operating point may be somewhat uh, near to the linear portion, that is greater than the value of operating point in the class B to achieve more than 180 degrees. Here 0 may be here, so this is greater than 0 and this is greater than 180 degrees. Generally this is 0, is 0 line. So 0 line to maybe not exactly uh, 0 but greater than 0, and this is 0 to pi, pi to 2 pi. So this portion may be extra. This is greater than class B. Therefore, of course, this is not complete. Therefore, less than class A. So the angle, the period of conduction is, if it is greater than 180 degrees and less than 360 degrees, then it is called class AB amplification. Sorry. Okay. These are these classes may be very important uh, in clipping operations generally. So if we require only half of the portion to be amplified. In that case, if you consider class AB or class A, then you will lose more power. Unnecessary signal may also be gets amplified. It requires more power to consume. That is the disadvantage. So the class B power amplifier is necessary is enough to amplify only 180 degrees of amplification. Instead of class B, if you use we can also use class A or class AB. In the class A, the 360 degrees that is complete signal maybe gets amplified. Whereas in class B, greater than 180 degrees and less than 360 degrees maybe gets amplified. But in the two cases that is class A and class AB, the two cases more than half signal will be get amplified. In that case, in this case, sorry, in both the cases, extra power maybe gets lost. Here in the power amplifiers, the power is very important. 1% power may not be gets waste. Therefore, instead of selection of class B, if we select class A or class AB, we lose more and more power and also circuitry. So selection is very important. We need to select exact amplifier to amplify the signal. Therefore, the power amplifications are used for large signals. It deals with large signals. Therefore, the large signal amplification purposes are very uh, careful to select. So similarly, these amplification purposes is only to amplify the power. Here, the power amplification is nothing but it will not be amplify the power. So as we know, the power cannot be generate or cannot be destroyed. But here, the amplification may not be done, but the maximum power delivered to the output, that is to the load, is very necessary. The for the load, the power delivery is very important. If the power completely delivered, then that is called power amplification. So here, the design procedure is very important. The power amplifiers, the exact values, the exact components must be inserted in designing procedure. Unnecessary components made the unnecessary loss in power. So the 100% power, if we deliver the power to the load, then definitely it improves the efficiency. So efficiency is nothing but how much power is delivered to the load. So that efficiency is very important in the power amplification purposes. The efficiency, how the efficiency calculations and what is efficiency, let us discuss about in the next class, in the next video lesson. But here, the efficiency means how much power is delivered, what is the power input power, and how much power is delivered. If any loss in the power in between the input and output, this is very important in power amplifiers. So the loss of power it makes large huge disadvantages. It leads to huge disadvantages. We maybe get a distortion in the output signal. We maybe get harmonics, more number of output signal frequency signals maybe appear in the output, All this leads to distortion. Therefore, the input power and output power both must be very important. What is the input power and what is the output power delivered to the load? That gives the power amplification. Here we are not increasing the power, just we are delivering 100% power to the load. That is our motto in the power amplifiers. Okay. In order to achieve those, the selection of the power amplifier is very takes important role. So how much signal to be amplified, for which amplifier is used, class A, class B, class C or class AB. Okay, let us stop here. Let us summarize the video lesson, today's video lesson. In this video lesson, we discussed about what is voltage amplifier, definition of voltage amplifier and definition of power amplifier. What are the differences between voltage amplifiers and power amplifiers? Okay, and characteristics of voltage amplifiers. What are the basic characteristics to make the amplifier as a voltage amplifier? Next, characteristics of amplifier to make amplifier as a power amplifier. So voltage amplifier characteristics and power amplifier characteristics. Next, the classification of power amplifiers or the classification of amplifiers based on based on the range of frequencies, based on the range of frequencies. Those are audio frequency power amplifiers, that is 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz, radio frequency, that is 30 kilohertz to 3 megahertz, and video frequency amplifiers, that is greater than 3 megahertz. This is based on frequency range, the classification of power amplifiers. Next, depends on the period of conduction, that is output signal. So those are class A, that is 360 degrees period of conduction, that is full cycle. Class B, only half cycle. The period of conduction may be 180 degrees. Class C, the period of conduction is less than 180 degrees, less than half cycle. Next, class AB, the period of conduction is greater than 180 and less than 360 degrees. In between class A and class B. So let us stop here. If you have any queries, please mail me to naar37@gmail.com. Naar37 naar37@gmail.com. Thank you. Thank you for watching video lesson.